Well, here is my late May update. I'm starting off with this great hydrangea, Merit Supreme, which comes in so many beautiful variations of pink and purple, and she's starting to do her job. And I have more blooms on this one potted hydrangea than I do on all the rest of them put together. And Tiffany Rose, which I just love. She's been blooming since the first part of May, so feel very fortunate. And my pot of parsley and some pretty ivies. And of course, the June hostas, which are just the nicest things on the planet. It's such a satisfying variety and just a great plant all on its own. This is Ice Follies. And over across the back is August Moon, which is actually a little more yellow. This is coming out a little bright, but it's a little more yellow. I've got a variety of milkweeds coming up, for which I'm very grateful. And a nice blue, solid green hosta, whose name I don't remember. More salvia. Little young hostas that were struggling, so I transplanted them. And some sage. And all these great little steppables. I just love these things. They're just a delightful contrast and very happy and healthy. We've got some elephant ears that have established themselves from last summer, and this wonderful salvia, which is varietal name is Black and Blue, and the crocosmia, which I think I'm pronouncing correctly. I'm waiting for its spikes to show up. Bright red, and they make the hummingbirds very happy. And this Dahlia is doing its usual job of growing, for which I'm grateful, because it sends out these beautiful yellow spikes. And it also serves as an emotional support plant for my, I believe, 10-year-old Duchess of Albany clematis, which I got to honor my mother-in-law who lived near Albany, New York. She's blooming a little bit later than usual, which is unfortunate, but she'll be glorious when she finally sets her mind to it. A friend of mine gave me her dahlias in pots, and they spent the winter in the garage. I've never had any luck with them in the ground, so we'll see how they do for me in the pots. Let's see if there's anything else exciting over here. More crocosmia, all kinds of abelia, all kinds of dog, jam pot. Hey, good boy. Yeah, that's my good boy. There's a little bit of a blue mophead over there. More elephant ears off in the distance. And then, of course, we have the rosemary. We have two varieties. This black elephant ear, which I just love, and then my very most favorite, which is Mojito. Fabulous basil, and an Easter lily that actually is blooming when it's supposed to and not when it's forced to. So let's see if the kids are around. Oh, there is, oh, yep, two of them. So we've got two left over who wintered over. Manny and Mo are the big orange comets. Jack died at some point over the winter. And then I got two more. Oh, this one has mostly white with just an orange blob on its head, so that's Chapeau. And then that one, well, you can't see it, never mind. Anyway, it has orange over its back, and it splits at its dorsal fin, which is kind of interesting. I have watched many of Greg Whitstock, the Pond Guys vlogs, and so many of Aquascape water garden clients use, from all over the country really, use both impatiens and creeping Jenny as water plants, cleaning the dirt off and then just letting the roots do their thing. And these are finally taking hold. It took them a while to adjust to being just in the water, but they're doing it now. But the gang seems very happy, so I'm very excited about that. And then this is a water lily I've had for about 4 years, and I'm hoping she'll bloom this year. I've repotted her in a big old container I got from my work, drilled holes in it as plastic, and then filled it with a combination of Georgia clay, of which I have a great deal, a water planting medium, and compost minus the worms, plus some fertilizer tablets. So that's been about 2.5 weeks, and it's beginning to come on, so I'm happy about that. More ivy. And this great plant, who I've had for such a long time, is very happy. It overwinters inside, but it is now its time of year. My blue fountain, so sad. I dropped it this year cleaning it. So now it's a side table. And in its place, I have taken a relatively decorative plastic terracotta container, and I zip tied a small fountain to a brick to keep it down, and then turned this whole thing into what I hoped would be a tadpole nursery. We have previously done tadpoles in totes filled with water on our driveway, and we decided not to go down that route this year. So I was hoping that we would attract some tree frogs particularly, and we have. Late last week, early this week, Barry White staged a concert, and all the things that happen after a Barry White concert happened, and the next morning the entire surface was almost completely covered in eggs. And they also went back to the stock tank and did some heeing and sheeing there, and so there were eggs on this little piece of elephant ear, so I brought it over there so we would have a separation of church and state. And all those speckles that you see on the bottom are tadpoles. So they have done what they were supposed to do. The water is, right now, I put a thermometer in, and it's a little over 80 degrees, so I don't know if that's going to stress them or not. I have to figure that one out, but they're still alive and kicking, so yay for that. I also have 2 bullfrog tadpoles in here somewhere, but they are not readily visible at the moment. So I will leave you to it. In case you're interested in this galvanized container, it is referred to as a canning trough. And I think it's about 25 gallons. I found it last year at, I started to say Southern States, that's my North Carolina and Virginia roots, at Tractor Supply. So if you're looking for one, I would look there. I think the only company that makes this one is called Tarter, T-A-R-T-E-R, Tarter USA. So until the next update, happy Memorial Day weekend. Kiss all your veterans. Thank them for their service. And Jasmine on.